Welcome to The Explainer. All right, with the 2025 US election just around the corner, there's a ton of economic uncertainty in the air. So today, we're going to open up the survival guide for Thai businesses that might be facing a Trump 2.0. We'll look at the risks, sure, but more importantly, we're going to find out where those hidden opportunities are hiding. Let's dive in. So here's the billion-dollar question, right? What does this next economic chapter actually look like? Are we just hitting replay on policies we've seen before, or is global trade about to step into completely new territory? And you can really see that uncertainty playing out in the economic forecasts. I mean, they're all over the place. On one side, you've got analysts saying the US economy is going to shatter expectations. But on the other, you've got predictions of a significant GDP reduction. So what in the world is driving this huge divide? Yeah, it really all comes down to one thing, one massive, unpredictable factor: the aggressive use of trade tariffs. This single policy is what's creating such a wide and, frankly, nerve-wracking range of possibilities. And when you dig into some of those possibilities, well, they're pretty intense. This particular analysis suggests that a full-on tariff strategy could shrink the entire US economy by 8%. And more importantly for the average person, that would feel like getting a 7% pay cut. Ouch. And the ripples don't stop there. This tariff-first approach is expected to send a real chill through the economy. Business investment would slow to a crawl, while at the same time inflation would heat up, which, just means everything costs more when you go to the store. Okay, so that's the big picture in the US. But now, let's follow that wave as it travels all the way across the Pacific. How does a policy made in Washington, D.C. create a very real, direct challenge for a business in Thailand? And this is where the problem gets crystal clear. Thai goods coming into the U.S. get hit with a whopping 19% tariff. But their key regional competitor, Vietnam, pays zero. Nothing. That's not just an uneven playing field, it's a massive economic hurdle to overcome. And what does that hurdle mean in actual numbers? It means a projected 10.5% drop in Thai exports to the U.S. next year alone. I mean, that is a huge hit to a really critical part of the Thai economy. All right, so if that's the reality, what do you do? What's the game plan? What's the strategic playbook for Thai businesses to not just survive this, but maybe even find a way to adapt and grow? The playbook starts with playing defense, quick moves you have to make right now. First, you absolutely have to spread your risk and diversify away from relying so heavily on the US market. Then, you've got to be smart about pricing, building that 19% tariff right into your costs. And finally, you have to take a hard look at what you're selling and focus on the high-margin stuff that can actually absorb that kind of financial hit. Okay, after those quick fixes, it's time for bigger, deeper operational changes. We're talking about fundamentally rethinking your supply chain. You've probably heard the term friendshoring. That's exactly it. Moving production to allied countries with better trade deals. It's also about doubling down on unique, high-value products that can command a premium price, tariff or no tariff. And finally, step 3 is the long game. This is where you shift from playing defense to playing offense. It means investing in R&D to create the next big thing. It means playing to Thailand's strengths, like its role as a hub for modern vehicle production. And for the really bold companies, it might even mean buying a company inside the US to just, sidestep the tariffs completely. But look, it's not all bad news. Big shakeups like this always create winners and losers. And this one is no different. In fact, if you look closely, you can see a fascinating group of potential winners who are figuring out how to thrive under these new rules. So who are these winners? Well, the analysis points to 3 main types. First up, the big guys. The huge conglomerates that have the cash to just build their factories right inside the US. Second, any business that can successfully position itself as a reliable alternative to China. And third, companies making high-tech, high-value stuff where the profit margins are so big they can just absorb the tariff cost. And let me tell you that China alternative angle, it's not just a buzzword, it's a huge movement. We're talking about almost half, 47%, of U.S. businesses actively moving planned investments out of China. And where's that money going? A huge chunk is heading right for the ASEAN region. For Thailand, this is a golden opportunity to grab a piece of that action. But maybe the biggest secret weapon for Thailand is something that's been hiding in plain sight, something most people have never even heard of. It's called the Treaty of Amity. It's a really unique deal with the U.S. that lets citizens of either company own a company outright in the other. And this little-known treaty, it's a total game changer. Because of this treaty, Thai Americans are in the absolute perfect spot to be the bridge between the two countries. Think about it. They can be the legal and cultural guides for Thai companies trying to get into the US. They can tap into American money and networks. And crucially, they can pivot into those service industries, tech, consulting, that tariffs don't even touch. They become these essential middlemen, just as US companies are looking for new manufacturing hubs like Thailand. So when you put it all together, the big takeaway seems to be this. The old way of doing things, just making stuff and shipping it out, that's getting a lot harder. The real value, the real opportunity might now be in connecting the dots, in building the bridges between these two economies. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. In this new economic world, is the bridge more valuable than the factory?